What if one of the most important investment clues in the world isn't hidden inside a stock chart, but inside political speeches? For years, Donald Trump has repeated the same themes over and over again. Manufacturing, energy, artificial intelligence, semiconductors, national security. Most people hear politics. Some investors hear opportunity. Because throughout history, fortunes have been built by identifying where governments, corporations, and capital are moving before everyone else. The question is, what is Trump's next big investment? And more importantly, what hidden pattern are most investors missing? Whether you love him or hate him, one thing is impossible to ignore. When Trump talks about an industry, investors pay attention, not because he predicts stock prices, but because policy can move enormous amounts of money, and money moves markets. Over the last decade, some of the strongest performing sectors in the market have been tied directly to themes that politicians, governments, and corporations considered strategically important. Artificial intelligence, semiconductors, defense, energy, infrastructure. The question isn't whether every prediction comes true. The question is whether you can spot the trend before everyone else does. Let's start with a company almost nobody was talking about 20 years ago. NVIDIA. In the early 2000s, NVIDIA was just another technology company. Today, it has become one of the most valuable companies in human history. A $10,000 investment made decades ago could have turned into millions. Why? Because NVIDIA ended up sitting at the center of a trend that changed the world. Artificial intelligence. At its peak, NVIDIA delivered returns measured in tens of thousands of %. The lesson isn't that NVIDIA was special. The lesson is that massive trends create massive winners. And the biggest winners often appear before the public understands what's happening. Right now, trillions of dollars are moving into a handful of industries. OpenAI, SoftBank, and Oracle announced Project Stargate, a plan involving up to $500 billion in AI infrastructure investment. $500 billion. Micron announced plans involving around $200 billion in semiconductor manufacturing. Major technology companies are spending tens of billions of dollars every year building AI systems and data centers. Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. These aren't normal business decisions. These are signals. And smart investors pay attention to signals. Because when governments and corporations all start moving in the same direction, something important is usually happening. If you listen carefully to Trump's economic vision, 4 themes appear again and again. Artificial intelligence, semiconductors, energy, manufacturing. At first glance, they seem unrelated, but they're not. AI needs chips. Chips need factories. Factories need energy. And governments are directing enormous amounts of money into all 4 areas simultaneously. That's the hidden pattern. Most people see separate headlines. The smartest investors see one giant trend. But the story gets even more interesting. Most people think AI is a software story. It's actually an electricity story. Every AI model requires computing power. Every data center consumes enormous amounts of energy. And future AI systems will require even more. Which means the AI boom is also creating an energy boom. Natural gas, nuclear energy, power grids, electric infrastructure. These industries suddenly matter far more than most people realize. And this is where another hidden pattern begins to appear. For years, Trump has repeatedly emphasized energy independence, domestic manufacturing, national security, and strategic industries. Whether you agree with him politically is completely irrelevant. Because this isn't a political story, it's a money story. History has shown this pattern many times before. The internet started as a government-backed project. GPS started as military technology. Many of the technologies people use every day began with public investment, long before they became profitable businesses. Governments identify strategic priorities. Capital follows. Industries grow. Investors arrive later. The pattern repeats, again and again. Now here's the part most investors miss. Artificial intelligence, semiconductors, energy, manufacturing. At first glance, they seem like separate opportunities, but they're actually part of the same story. AI needs chips. Chips need factories. Factories need energy. And governments are directing enormous amounts of money into all four areas simultaneously. That's why some investors are paying such close attention to these sectors. Not because they know the future, but because they understand incentives. So what is Trump's next big investment? The truth is, we don't know, and neither does anyone else. But hidden patterns leave clues. If you follow the money instead of the headlines, a picture begins to emerge. Artificial intelligence, semiconductors, energy infrastructure, advanced manufacturing. These are the industries attracting enormous investment from governments, corporations, and investors at the same time. Could one of them become the next NVIDIA? Maybe. Could several of them transform the global economy over the next decade? History suggests it's possible, but that's not the real lesson. The goal isn't to predict Trump's next stock. The goal is to understand where power is moving. Because power attracts money. Money attracts investment. And investment creates opportunity. The biggest fortunes are rarely built by predicting a single company. They're built by recognizing a trend before everyone else realizes it's happening. Markets change, presidents change, companies change. But one thing never changes. Money leaves clues. And those clues are often visible long before the headlines catch up. The question is, how early did you notice? Hidden patterns. See what others don't.